1:30, 6th of September, on a little jungle trek, being led up to some cave we're going to explore, but along the way, the Fijians are explaining the use of a lot of the plants and roots. And so that's the red ginger. Let's see, what did they use that for? No, they used that one for, that was obesity. What is it? Diabetes. And tapioca plants used for glaucoma. Something else was used for skin ulcers. The bark of the mango.
This is like pothos that we have potted plants that just growing.
Called what?
Pothos, like pothos.
I think the rest of the folks being guided are all from Australia.
Look at the bamboo stand here.
Bamboo.
Oh, look how tall it is. Yeah, isn't it incredible?
Looks like a shelter. Yeah, it looks like we're coming to the entrance here. A lot of people have been telling us a story about Christchurch. It's going to take years and years to rebuild after the earthquake.
Yeah, there's the cave. Look.
Jackson, come on, Smiley, Nick. Stand there with the man. There you go. Hold your ball. Rah! That's what scares you.
Put it on my head.
Hold the ball, JD.
Here's the camera.
Nick, you're in. Ready? Must see the face.
Ready?
God, this is an uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
Ow.
Beautiful.
Can I see, Mom?
Want to keep still.
Oh, that was scary. Can I see?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What's that? Oh, yeah, torch.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the frontier of the cave. Take a look down below. That is the entrance we are going to follow to move inside the cave, the same entrance we are going to follow to come back into the outside world. Now, before I continue any further, I would like to tell you the name of the cave, which is called Naihehe Cave, defining the meaning of its name, a place to get lost. Now, that refers back to the last tribal war that happened up here in the valley of Singatoka. As here in Fiji, there are about 14 different provinces, together with 14 different chiefs. Now, when Fiji was ceded to Britain back in the year 1874, and also when Christianity was introduced into the country, only 13 of those provinces signed the deed of cession and accepted Christianity. And the 14th one didn't, and that was the people up here in the valley. And the reason why they did not want to do that, because they were afraid of losing their land to the British people. Now, even though the early Fijians accepted Christianity, when the early missionaries arrived into our shores, they brought an epidemic of measles, which killed about more than a third of the population, especially the people in the valley. So they blamed the disease on the foreign gods and decided to have that war just to drive away the early missionaries together with the new Lotu, or the new religion. Now, while they were involved in that war up here in the valley, there was no other place that they could go and save themselves. So instead, they decided to come and take refuge in their own cave. So back in the dark days, looking at the frontier of this cave, it was not exposed as it is today. It was all covered up with wild vines. So back in the past, looking at the frontier of the cave just looks like a natural landscape. Now, while running away from the war, as soon as they reached the frontier, they just sort of like disappeared, because they were running straight inside of the caves while the enemies was running from behind, standing aimlessly, just wondering where the native people have disappeared into. So back in that day till today, the people up in the valley decided to name the cave Naihehe in their own dialect. Nahi refers to a place, and Hehe means lost. You put them together, a place to get lost. But fortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we will definitely not going to get lost, because we have lights to guide us in. Looking back at the entrance, it gives out a warning to you all that while moving in, you'll have to mind your backs and your heads. And if you don't, you are going to tune our international anthem, Ouch. Remember, I don't want to hear that song right now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, while moving in, you'll have to carry everything with you, especially your hats, sunglasses, and your cameras. If you do have empty bottles, you can leave them behind. Any questions so far? Any questions? Yes, they are coming with a bag. You can put your sunglasses or cameras in it, just to be safe.